park. Now I'm drinking by myself at the intersection park. Watch you when you walk inside your house. You threw your briefcase alone the couch. I plan on peeking through your fucking door and blowing out every piece of your brain till your son jumped in your arm. Cut on the engine and sped off in the rain and gone.
Somebody said you bumped your head and bled the floor. Jumped into a big frenzy, burned to cool. Drowned inside the lake of sun, where you flow.
Drive inside the lake outside, the way you go. And this I know. I got 100 on my dash, got 200 in my trunk. Name in the grab bags, put my Bible in the trunk. Taco vodka on the top of my binocular, I'm drunk. How can I can make them popular? Pop 'em when I want. See, I'm living with anxiety, ducking the sobriety. Fucking up the system, I ain't fucking with society. Justice ain't free, if what justice ain't me. So I justify staying on the obituary. Why you wanna see a man with a broken heart? Once upon a time, I used to go to church and talk to God. Now I'm thinking to myself, I look to son of God. Now I'm drinking by myself at the intersection park. Watch you when you walk inside your house. You threw your briefcase alone the couch. I plan on peeking through your fucking door and blowing out every piece of your brain till your son jumped in your arm. Cut on the engine and sped off in the rain and gone.
Somebody said you bumped your head and bled the floor. Jumped into a big frenzy, burned to cool. Drowned inside the lake of sun, where you flow.
One second. Let's see. 1 second. I want to make sure it's on the. There you go. Boom. All right. Welcome everyone. Hi. It's a very impromptu stream. I know it's on a weekday, and I'm never on a weekday, but why not, right? So, what prompted this stream was I the idea of when is money not enough to do what you're doing. Now, in life, we all have jobs, or we all have engagements that is very lucrative, but take a piece of us. Um, Sometimes most times, you are doing something that you get abused by. Um, you get your boss disrespects you. You are not given your proper kudos. You never told whether or not you're doing a good job or not. Stuff like that. And my whole thing is going over the LCU. There have been people that have not been given their proper due, in my personal opinion. Now, I could be wrong. And like I said, this is very opinion based. And, like,
I just sit on
the two people. Like, the two people that I even tagged in this. They're Nightmare and Buffy. Now, I now with Buff Weeb, I have grown. I've liked what he has done initially for the nerds content. It came with anime, cartoons, gaming, the like. And then it just became this very weird, just it just became nerds as it just it just became nerds by name. It didn't become nerds. It didn't become nerds as a. One second, I just need to fix this real quick. Input. Oh, come on, bitch. Oh, that's why. Don't want people think. I forgot. I'm not in a. No, it's this. There you go. No, outputs this. Inputs this. Fantastic. Anyways. And now I've seen Buff Beeb just had to do the show and his Nerds by Name. Hell, he does more nerd stuff on his personal channel than, on his other stuff. And the fact that there was a time, a pinnacle of a downfall, where Buff Weeb was putting was like so beside himself that he was playing with firecrackers, having firecrackers in his mouth, like going insane for one reason or another. And I wanted to believe that it's because you're being stuck. You have no idea what to do. You have no idea how to please someone that you don't know how to please someone that you're working for. And the same thing with Nightmare. Nightmare is like had to go through a lot of nonsense. Had to go through a lot of fucking, times where he was disrespected, lied on. I think he got fired like 8 or 9 times. Like, I think it's a record. And the thing is that these two are talents. Like, these two are two of the most energetic, focused YouTubers that I've seen come out of nowhere. And when you have this LCU where everything is just where you feel as though that your hard work is not being appreciated, and you can get fired at a moment's notice, then be brought back, and then it's like being a yo-yo. You're being thrown aside, then pull back in, thrown aside, pull back in. You have to prove yourself through shut up, Huggy, you slurry fuck. Oh, hi, Victor. Welcome. Fuck your cats, by the way. The tiny terrors. Okay. But in any case, you are yo-yoing way back and forth, and you don't know where you stand in this whole thing. And I've always preached about how this network is. This whole network is just founded on. It's like a war bit. It's like it sloshes every which way. You could lose your footing every other which way. Leave my cat alone, you fucking furry. How dare you? How dare you, kind sir, you say that about me? That's that's hurtful. How dare? Kid like it. But and look, I think at the ending of the day, the LCU is an opportunity. Victor, stop being cute, stop being coy, buddy. No, but like the I understand it's an opportunity. It allows you to it allows you to be in a broader audience than you would have on your personal channels. It's just that at some point, whether or not the whole firing and rehiring becomes legit, you tend to become disillusioned to everything. You're so used to being disrespected. And the thing is that do I firmly believe that both Weeb and Nightmare are are deserving of a larger audience? Of course they are. But I just feel as though, and the fact that you have Booster coming out of his face, being an intern, and feeling entitled because he's on the LCU, which again I find incredibly fascinating. That you're an intern and you are willing to work for free until January, but you didn't want to go on other shows to make money almost immediately. Like, you're broke. It's Christmas time. Don't you want to get presents for your kids? Why wait on the charity of others to get your presents? To get your kids presents? Who cares about you? Because what do you need except a warm body and fucking bubble gum or whatever the case is? But it's your kid, and the fact that you are allowing other people to you are asking when people are offering to get your kid presents. That, in my personal opinion, that has to be the biggest sign of like bullshit ever. There should be pride in getting your kids something. Of course, if people offer it, but still, you're in the predicament of other people's charity because you're interning, and it's like and like Bush is treated like shit, and yet he's still on it. Not getting fired, not getting wherever. Is he more talented than the other two I spoke about? Hell no. Hell no. I've seen. Here's the thing: Booster hasn't have the capacity to fight verbally with someone, as we have said, and as I have shown. When he went up against Nightmare, he froze up. When he went up against Steak, he froze up. I don't know if he fought with Buff Weeb, I forgot, but I would assume he froze up. So with that criteria, what is Booster good for? Movie quotes, pop culture references, and him being a baby back bitch? There was a stream where he had cleaned his door. Like, what type of nonsense is this? Like, the question I have is, what makes Booster a creator? What makes him worthy of a spot? Doesn't matter if it's local or not, but what makes him worthy of a spot in the LCU? What are the redeeming qualities? Because I feel, and hell, even and not to jump off other sides, fucking Denmark left the fucking thing too. Because Denmark feels as though that he doesn't have what it takes to be part of it, and I have foretold this would have been a problem, because just unpaid labor. You're right. How can you need a shirt with at the end of it the dry print? Wait, with with at the end. Stop attacking your messages. I want to know what you said. That's great. If you want to talk, we could talk in my VC. Okay, you're more than welcome to fucking ask me what I want to say, Victor. Just saying, you don't have to be in chat. You don't have to pay $10.99 to be in Discord. You don't have to be a member to be in my Discord. Anyone that wants smoke, I'll give you smoke. You want an explanation? I give an explanation. But it, but what makes him anything special? And then foretold Denmark, without the alcohol, what are you? Like, and I'm thinking the biggest L ever. I was out here saying that Denmark is the future. Denmark is someone that is going to take new heights to the server, to the show, whatnot. And I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Denmark had no ideas. Denmark uh, was reliant on spite, gumption, and shit talk, and that's all it was. It wasn't about creativity. It wasn't like thinking of ways to like interact with the audience. It was just like, oh, let's just have um Ken give me fatherly advice, and I'm gonna shit talk your mama, and then drink myself into a stupor, and then pee myself, and then whatever. And again, at what point is enough enough? At what point is the stress of making money for the show? And it's not even making the show. You're making money for the show not only because you have to, or you need to be profitable to stay on the network, but it's because like you need to show that you're worth a damn. There was a there was a stream on Reapers where Denmark was crashing out because his value to the server itself was like there's a $1 tier, $10 tier, $100 tier that Italy had done, and everyone was saying that Denmark is going to be in the $1 tier, and it was because of his words with someone on Rebel at the time. But when I tell you this man was so pressed, was so sad that everyone wanted him in the dollar tier, it broke his heart. It just showed that your antics aren't something that people care enough about. There are people that could shit talk about someone and they still get the love and admiration. No one cared about Denmark. They wanted and the more he gave them attention on how much this affected him, the more it caused people to really bully him, and it crushed him. It hurt him. He was like, "Oh, f that, you guys are being so mean to me, f that." Someone like he was begging people to put him out of the dollar tier, begging. And that's when you show your ass like that. That's when you're showing other people that you are broken. You broke yourself. You allowed a stupid game to affect you because people are putting a dollar amount on a stupid game, and you allow that to affect you so much so. Then now you're crashing out and you're doing all these other types of things. And I personally think that people will do what they are people will do what they feel like they should be doing. Okay, and like I said, when it comes to the LCU, it's just like there's not solid ground. You have no idea what whether or not you have a permanent spot on the show. There was an upheaval when it came to the time slots on the show. Everything was perfect the way it was. Cafe was doing well on the 8 o'clock spot. Rewind was at that spot, so on and so forth. It was good. It was like a smooth running machine. But the thing is that once you mess with the times, now people are scrambling either catch the stuff catch the stuff on replay, or have to go and fix their life to go and watch their stuff. And to be quite honest, the characters winning those shows are good. Billy, Zay, Xylee, Josh, Nightmare, Grim, Blue. I think Belushi got kicked because of some other stuff. Um, Chubby, Alpha, Tech, so on and so forth. The Fire Girls. But because you are allowing your, but because you have such a difference of times, you were alienating those that were so used to that time being their show, and some thrive and some suck, and Cafe was affected too because like now Cafe is 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. and it's like who's gonna watch Cafe at 10 p.m. to midnight? The whole premise of Cafe was a morning show. Rewind has to be on Rewind's in the morning, and they don't have time to get all the timestamps for the rewinding the LCU. But again, when you're comfortable, and as long as nothing is messing around with your cash flow, everything else can burn around you. Just as long as you're doing good. And I feel as though there were certain people that get messed around with because it's the cool thing to do. And I feel as though there's a bit of biasness within the show too. That's what Tommy wanted. Yeah. Still though, and again, if you're gonna do though, if you're gonna fix your show differently, you might as well just have a rebranding of the names. Cafe has nothing to do with nighttime. You should call it LCU Nightcap, but I digress. There was something I saw this morning. And this is regarding Booster as well too. Booster had gone out of his way to call out Sweet Tea because Sweet Tea was trying to get her kids some free Christmas presents, while in a group chat it was shown that people wanted to get a booster or something. And the thing is I guess it's kind of weird that a host is asking someone else for them to get their kids presents when you are a host, and you should be able to make enough money to get your kids presents, but that's in here right there. And it's just interesting that Booster has, again, Gum has a lot of gumption and guile, and she wants to fight with everyone. He wants to fight with everyone, especially with Sweet Tea. I think he said something along the lines of, if something was to happen to you, I don't really care. Like he went into talking about nooses and stuff like that, like wild stuff. But like he was getting reprimanded on the show, on the LCU, and Boogie is like, don't do anything TOS when Boogie's the biggest TOS there is, which I find funny. All the crash out, all the talk about suicide ideation, saying gaming words out of nowhere because of frustration, quote unquote doing blackface when he claims it's not blackface, but it was blackface. Making really inappropriate jokes regarding PDF things. Like, those are not against TOS. But we're gonna reprimand the fucking intern, unpaid labor. What is not TOS. Whatever. The and again is and the thing I see with the LCU, and people could disagree with me. People can disagree with me on that. I mean, but I feel as though, like, if you are in the LCU, you are not protected whatsoever. You are not given an opportunity to show your strengths at all. Because if I just came into this, no, because I feel as though, like, if you just came on to to LCU, and people be telling you, "Hey, Sweet Tea is awesome. This girl Sweet Tea is the future, right?" And then you watch the LCU, and you watch Local Live, and you watch Sweet Tea. She doesn't do anything. Like, she just there. All she does is scream. All she does is it just like get get her ass shut up because of TTS. Uh, or she never gets to talk at all. She kindly comments, but there's no way of showing why is she such a big deal? Why is she such a talent? Like, the whole point of the show, of being on prime time, is to show why you are over there. But again, this whole thing about when is money enough? When is Sweetie content of being on the show and not being able to show why she is a very sought after talent? Why she was brought on to be in the be on Local Live? Is, is she just happy just to be there, or does she actually want to show why she is a talent? Because if Shruti is happy just being there, then fine. But then what's the point of having her on the show? Don't you want it to make sense? I mean, don't you want the show to be fun? Don't you want people to watch it? And I keep on saying, the LCU, all it does is it bickers, it reprimands, it goes into these weird cycles of like uh in these weird cycles of like you need to own up for your nonsense punishments. It's never about a topic, and it was never about like what what's fun to talk about. It's just a bunch of nonsense. And again, sure, you could have 2,000 people watching you, but what is the percentage of people that actually want to watch? What is the percentage of people that are just donating just to hear their thoughts? Now, granted, it's still money at the end of the day, but like, who is really a fan of it? And the thing is, why is it that show gets 2,000 people? And Queens gets, I think, 1,000 or whatnot, close to 1,000. Why does the other thing is, why isn't any other show on the 1,000, 2,000 record? Are we really saying that all the other hosts are not good enough to break 1,000? Your subscriber count is at 1,000. 1,000. No one gives a fuck enough to support it that much. You sure you have your 500, 600 viewers? That's cool. That's great. What? But it just seems like it's never going to be. It's never going to be as good as Local Live, and I dare say that Local Live is. It's just there because it gets this notoriety because it was the first one, and then you have Boogie over there. But like, I wonder if people are there to see a crash out or to see what's the hottest news ever. When is money enough? When is it enough? When will there ever be a time where creativity, opinions, free will, freedom, when does that take over the money? How does it how does it feel that the one that runs the organization really says that he makes more in the stock market than he does in the LCU? That if he really wants to cut his losses, he could cut his losses. And everything would be gone. And for most people, they would not know where to go or what to do. They'll fall in mediocrity. There won't be any fans. There won't be anyone that would care to follow them if they would go to another YouTube. That's not yours. They don't care. They go to another YouTube channel, or they make a YouTube channel like that. Like, and again, there's some people that could do it.
No, now you're gonna go quicker because you said 200. Oh,
That
any day now.
there are going to be people. There are people that are going to try their best to create YouTube channels.
Was a dead man folk.
But as I was saying, like, no one's going to follow anyone. No one's going to be able to follow uh them if they make YouTube channels. Like, maybe a few do, and maybe, just maybe, they just give it up. But then it just shows that they're just YouTube, like, all they were just people that just paid into the community, and they paid enough money for them to go and, you know, and be an intern, or and then them working themselves into being on the show, and then they just become cookie cutter. Them becoming, someone that's not good, just there because they paid enough. It's not talent. It's not talent. And then, like, if you are just easy to mess around with, you're gonna get messed around with. And then you have to really look at yourself and, like, is the money worth it? Is it worth me having to go around, try to do a show, be told that the show is not good, have this thing about almost being fired, then come back because it was a mistake, and one second, what's this? Oh, why is it telling me to sign in? That's really crazy. Okay, cool. You're funny, Victor. But the thing, but that's becoming the whole theme of it. Um, but yeah, like I said, again, when it comes to the other shows like Test and Nerds, it's like when it comes to Test, and I mean, I feel as though, like, with Diamond being left alone, he does his own thing, and he could make his money doing that show with Graham. I didn't even watch the latest one because I know Belushi left that show because of reasons, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. And I know he Nurse. I think we got didn't want to do a show because he was like he was drained creatively. He didn't want to do it. He just skipped out on the show, and then again, certain people will Boogie was out here arguing that you mess up the redirect, you mess up the flow of everything, and it's like if you don't know how to do a show, I mean, if you don't have something planned together, why do a show? Just just do it. I mean, if you their argument is like are if you can't do a show, you shouldn't do a show. Like how many what at what point is it good to just continue doing the same old response, react to other dramas that came before you, and then maybe talk about other stuff too. Maybe talk about what you want to talk about toward the end of the show. Then you have to redirect to other shows. And I'm not even speaking about the. I'm not even speaking about Alpha, which is interesting. Which is interesting, by the way, because I was watching Local Alpha, and I love to pick. I love to pick apart this. I had to put Local Alpha. Sorry, Local. Oh, wow.
Just to let you know, your stories are boring and
I just want to show something real quick. Real quick. Perfect. So this is currently alpha right now. So alpha before was on the C circuit. What is a C circuit? You're asking. C circuit is where you can stream whenever you want, but there's no redirects to you. You have to do everything by yourself. You have to do content by yourself. No one's gonna redirect you, and barely anyone's gonna watch you. Now, allegedly, he's gonna be going up to the second tier of the network, which is basically you have a time slot. You can do whatever you want to do, and it's just similar. It's just similar like that. Before he was. Let me see something. Cause this right here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
is what, and putting out a product, putting out a show. Yeah, is this the most entertaining show in the LCU? By far, no. I can tell you that personally. But to me, I'm entertained by my show. And I've got a dedicated group of you that is. Now, let's get into the neckbeards. Yeah. All right. So, let's see what's on our lovely Lol Cow Live Reddit. At least for the fire, and it's $2. we're going to give you a crotchies. All right, back up top. So let's get into the news.
Tonight, we dive back into the forums where keyboards click louder than common sense. From endless posts to overnight meltdowns, the internet's favorite battleground never sleeps. We're sorting the memes from the mayhem and checking the pulse of the drama, one thread at a time. This
We got Eris Nix with another 2 pounds British sterling. Mrs. Puff. Like, I already found one of my favorite images. What happened to Denmark? Denmark. Okay, we'll get into that here in a sec. Denmark legitimately, I think, honestly, was a little burnt out. Do you want me to be honest? I think he might be back sooner rather than later. I would love that. I think the whole universe would. You know, there's only so much you can do where you're legitimately shitting on everybody every day. But I understand his feelings. I understand his feelings in the long run about like fucking, everything you do, you get shit on. Okay. And that's what I was telling him. I was like, dude, I get it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, and you guys have heard it multiple times. I've reiterated, shit, I could probably go back and find the goddamn message where Keem said, I'm volunteering to take over a channel. And Keem's sitting there going, I don't see you ever being a host. That you're not enough. And like, I get it, but I got to keep trying. I got to keep going. And a lot of times that is what, that's what Keem's wanting to see. He said multiple times, God damn, I got a peanut butter stain from when we did that peanut butter jelly. I can't stand looking at it. It drives me nuts. But he wants to see people have the drive, the dedication, the motivation to be here. Yeah, did I take the fucking weekend off this weekend? You're goddamn right. I was going to stream Sunday, and I got asked Saturday because, again, I do it all by myself. I'm
Okay, the thing is that you said there has to be dedication, motivation, what have you. But how can there be dedication and motivation if you're not allowed to do something that interests you? That's the thing. The only way you could be dedicated and motivated is if you do shows. If you do shows that you have outrageous rewards, or when you do very weird stuff, like it's like something out of Gladiator. You have to like appease the audience with craziness. So how do you differentiate yourself from the pack if it up until this point all he was just complaining about was like, do I think I'm an entertaining person? No, but I keep on trying. And mind you, this man has allegedly a 5-figure job or something, or a 6-figure job, and yet he's doing this. He's busting his ass to what exactly? To become a content creator? To become do you one day have a successful YouTube show? So all the stuff about putting peanut butter and on yourself and then streaming by yourself and to have to adhere to getting certain amount of donations at some point. Uh, it's that where you want to go? Because if you want to do all that, you could just make a channel on your own, and then you could try to do it there. But like again, if the whole point is going to locale live, you're not really going to show yourself to be anything but just there. Because all that show is, it's dominated by two, three people, while everyone just adds background noise. That's all it is. If that's the whole point of going on the show, then you are just getting paid money to just to be background singers for something. You're not actually showing any type of thing. You're not. Not one bit. And again, when is it worth it? At what point is there what is the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to all the brass rings people have to jump up to get in this universe? How many times can they be told they're not good enough? How many times are they being told they can't hack it? I mean,
Literally doing it by myself, running the streams, doing real life by myself. Got to take the kid to work, got to pick him up, got to take care of the house, got to run and get my meds, got to do. And let me tell you something, delivery gets fucking expensive. But, being here every day is what, and putting out a product, putting out a show. Yeah, is this the most entertaining show in the LCU? By far, no. I can tell you that personally. But to me, I'm entertained by my show. And I've got a dedicated group of you that is. Now, let's get into
what? Wait one second. Okay. 1 second. Ow, shit. Here you go. Bot, are you sub to Alpha? I'm sub to Alpha because I can keep up with it. Wait, just because I am I what's the point of me having to talk about something if I never watched the show? Victor, come on, please. Also, like I just want because in the beginning, fandom was like, "Oh, I'm going to." Fandom was like, "Oh, I'm just going to." What got me hooked on with fandom was like he was going to play Metro Prime, and then he kind of did, and then he was just talking about how like his show sucks and like no one went so watch it. Like, well, what are we talking about here? Come on, man. Um, so of course, why not? Um, but yeah, like I said, I originally I was just talking about. I took this opportunity to talk about this because I was just I was just going through like the recent stuff with Weeb and Nightmare and how I feel as though they don't get the recognition they deserve for what they do for the network. And I'm glad that everyone is doing well. Everyone is doing well, but like it, at some point, it's gonna come to a head. Like some sort of beef, some sort of issue is gonna come their way, where like it's gonna blow up in everyone's faces. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, if they will like. I don't know how long it'll take for Sweet Tea to stay in the network. I mean, on the show. I'm not sure. Hopefully, she gets a chance to shine and like actually make the show, you know, different, not bearable, but different, and stuff. Because if you say that you're really good at what you do, you should be able to show that you're good at what you do, and not just be there just for window dressing and stuff. That's how I see it. Um, 1 second. I'm just curious about something. Oh God. Oh, oh, by the way, real quick, while I was doing my stuff with Local Live, I decided to swing back into small commentary just to see how small commentary is. Yeah, basically, there's three stories that I'm honestly will say I'm out of the loop about. There's one about internet adjacent and Parlo. I don't know. I all I know the TLDR is it's just that money. Someone someone came over to go visit another person. Then there was a little bit of tension. Uh, One suicide baited on a Discord call. It was a very weird and it just went way too long for what it was. And my an associate of mine, his name is Simpleton. He went over it at a very exhaustive degree on that. Which, by the way, like if Team ever is looking for people to host, he should have should look at small commentary because at least with small commentary, they kind of know how to act and make it entertaining. But what do I know? Uh, there's also this big story about lyrics who is doing makeup, and and here's the thing: if anyone knows who lyrics is, I think way before the pandemic or maybe during the pandemic, when Augie decided that he wanted to hang it up, everyone had pointed to to lyrics. Let me show you who lyrics is real quick. Hopefully, I could not. Where are you? Here you go. Here you go. Hold on a second. This is what lyrics look like. Now the thing now I the thing with him it was like he had a lot of questionable stuff on his Twitter and he ran away. He left. He left the internet. Then when he came back and then everyone just had amnesia. and saying that, oh, he never had anything weird on his Twitter. He never solicited any stuff. Okay. And someone had told me that, and this is important in a way that it goes to show that once you are not in favor, when you're not create a favor of certain people that will turn on you, like everyone else will turn on you. So like, no, in the beginning, he did. Lyrics left the first time around. He was nowhere to be seen. He was not on any shows. He was not wherever the case is. I remember this specifically. He came back. He came back another time around, and he kind of stayed. And he was late, and then he streamed, and then he was in the subway Queenman and stuff like that. But he did leave, unless people could. So I'm like I said, I know the lore. I know the lore. He left. He completely left. You know how I know he left? Because Salvo had said it. Salvo had exposed him, and he would know where to be found. So he left. He came back. He did his streaming stuff, and then I think this was during this was he was in part of a couple of other dramas with Queenman, and then he did stuff with Himpleton. It was just a very weird thing. No, that's fine. Um, but now he has makeup on. Now everyone is just saying he's the next Bull Blacks and stuff, and I'm like, bro, let's like. The thing is I hope this is not for attention because he feels though people not taking him seriously anymore. That would be pretty sad. Um, but this person right here was one of the mainstays of commentary. Like his streams were like he was there. Like I think he was there when Salvo had said about Nicholas when Salvo allegedly leaked Nicholas Diorio's number or something. I remember that. I remember Liam and not Liam. Lyrics and Aiden. Was it Aiden? Yeah. So he was around there during that time. So he was kind of a mainstay. And now he's just gone. He just a focal point, and I think people forgot all about him. Um, why does everyone hate him? I'm curious about this story. Hold on, let's see.
I kind of want to call out this one thing that kind of bothers me. Okay, that kind of bothers me.
This is one second. Oh, this is food shops.
So
Are we actually gonna do a react to a
so.
react?
Parasocial mom, true. I don't think he's actively beefing with anybody, but they are covering him as if Lyrics is now a locale. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, right? But
for someone who actively like spent his life going and like trying to take away and advocating
Okay,
for
that doesn't.
basic human
That,
rights to not
anytime that food shops fucking goes over anything, it's not fucking good because it doesn't get to the goddamn point. It doesn't get to the damn point. See, Queenman talks about lyrics. Child Larger talks about lyrics. Like everyone shitting on lyrics. And the weird thing is there were times where lyrics was there was times when lyrics was on when people were defending this man to their dying breath. claiming that he wasn't so bad, and then all of a sudden, now that he's persona non grata, everything is off the whim. And it's crazy. It's crazy that people just. And again, I ain't saying shit about like it's unwarranted or whatnot. I just find it funny that now that the it's everyone is so dry for content that people are just going with this story about him just wearing makeup. It's crazy. Let me see something. I'm curious about. I'm curious about this. Let's see. Am I gonna?
YouTube. Correct.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
What?
Oh, this is Templeton. There is this guy named Vexing. Oh, there's a lot of small commentary lore that I know about. It's insane. Um, and the thing. Oh my god. Like even the small commentary is not that much. It's like even though it's not much, there are certain parts that it's like there's a lot to go over. There's a lot to go over. There's like it would take like if I really want to make people understand small commentary lore, like I would literally would have to go from the beginning all the way up until present day for it. Damn. I'm curious. Is he going to be live? One second. I want to see something real quick. Oh yeah, I mean, if people want me to go beat for beat with Vexim Swift, who is a weird furry person who somehow became a prominence and knew every YouTuber worth their salt, and then he fell from grace. He fell from grace because he was with someone and they did OnlyFans together, and people found out the OnlyFans, and it turned into such a show for that person. There's a lot of there's a lot of other accounts I would have to go over, but I think that name I haven't heard in a long, long while. That's amazing. Oh yeah, by the way, real quick, I was watching the net the documentary, the Diddy documentary. I got to there's 4 episodes to it. I did 2 episodes, and what watching that documentary it made me realize is that the stuff Diddy did was like even if you didn't watch the documentary, you should kind of know that Diddy is not a good person. Especially if you go over the stuff with the shooting in the club when he was dating Jennifer Lopez, and he had his friend Shine take the fall, and I think he did a prison bid, like he just took the whole fall. He Shine fell on the artist Shine fell on his sword, took the bid, never got a call from Diddy ever again. And then if you watch the reality show Making the Band, where he made these guys walk over the bridge to the Cheesecake Factory just for him to get cheesecake, and as a punishment or something, I don't fucking know. Um, you just could see that he was not a good person, and the fact that ever since he hasn't made, like, even before his issues with the government and stuff, he hasn't had an artist as big as Notorious B.I.G., Fate Evans, Craig Mack, Jodeci. Is Boyz II Men on the label too? I forget. But he hasn't had anything as big as those four. Mary J. Blige, yeah, was Mary J. Mary J. Blige was there too. He hasn't had anyone, so it just begs the question: like, why did people revere him as much as they did? Um, and the messed up part is that 50 Cent produced the whole thing, and he did it out of payiness. It's allegedly, 50 felt like Diddy was trying to emasculate him by taking him shopping. So now he's held a grudge. So therefore he dropped everything on him. Like, there are unreleased there's unreleased recordings of someone admitting to Biggie's not Biggie, Tupac's stuff. There is video of fucking Biggie dying, Tupac dying, and the Biggie dying, and that the co-owner of Bad Boy Records called out Puffy for, like, making people for making he made Puffy made Biggie in death pay for his own funeral. He recouped the cost of the funeral, like he paid himself for the funeral, allegedly, because I don't remember off the top of my head. And he and then Puffy said that, that Biggie wanted to stay in the West Coast to promote the album, and that was not true at all. Because again, the co-owner at the time was like, no, he didn't want him to stay there. So that's a very interesting documentary. Once I finish watching it, I may do a recap on it just for funsies. But yeah, like I said, when you are supremely petty, um, you will be surprised. You would be surprised what a person does to counteract you. And you have no. It's kind of like how It's like kind of like Cat Williams. How Cat Williams had all of this dirt on all these other comedians. Like, he was calling out Steve Harvey, calling out calling out Steve Harvey, calling out Kevin Hart. Sorry, one second. And also Eminem on his newest album was kind of calling out Biggie, calling Puffy too, because he insinuated that he knew about the whole Pac and Biggie thing too. So that's interesting. But um, anyways, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you coming by. Don't know when I'll go.